After Huanli annihilated 2 Nascent Soul cultivators at Huanglong Mountain, what was the reaction in the Tiannan cultivation world? He was not only hailed as the strongest cultivator below the 3 great masters, but he even caught the eye of the old demon Yunlu. Upon seeing Huanli, the old demon Yunlu immediately began circulating his cultivation technique, scrutinizing him with a smile, which terrified Huanli so much that his inner armor was almost soaked with sweat. This wasn't because Huanli was cowardly, it was simply that this old demon's reputation was too great, and he had extremely peculiar predilections. As a renowned demonic figure throughout Tiannan, the old demon Yunlu was a rare hermaphrodite, cultivating the top-tier dual cultivation technique of the Huan sect. He was most skilled at abducting handsome men and beautiful women from various sects and forcibly engaging in dual cultivation. But what was outrageous was that he was a demonic cultivator with principles. After using his techniques, he never indiscriminately killed them, and even personally escorted them safely back to their sections. This use and return approach left the victimized sects furious, but with no choice but to swallow their anger and accept their fate. Who could blame them when the Huan sect was so powerful, backed by the late-stage Nascent Soul cultivator, the Huan old demon? Since no disciples had been harmed, there was no need for revenge. Senior sister Hongfu of Huafeng Valley was one such victim, and after cultivating together, she became pregnant with her daughter, donghua. Surprisingly, senior sister Hongfu even developed feelings for him, demonstrating the immense charm of this Yunlu old demon. Huanli was able to encounter this level of old demon only because of his outstanding performance in the battle at Huanglong Mountain. That was Huanli's first battle after advancing to the Nascent Soul stage, his breakthrough. As the representative of the Luoyuan sect, he not only instantly annihilated 2 Nascent Soul cultivators of the same level, but even the late-stage Nascent Soul cultivator, Mulanzhong, chased him for 4 days and 4 nights without success. From then on, Huanli's name resounded throughout Tiannan, earning him the exceptional qualification to attend the gathering of mid-stage Nascent Soul cultivators. Huanli, entering the main hall, immediately grasped the situation. This was clearly a rallying cry for Tiannan's top-tier combat power. Besides Wei Wei, the venerable Jiang, and the old demon Huan, 3 late-stage Nascent Soul cultivators, there were over 20 mid-stage Nascent Soul cultivators, each a centuries-old monster. The core of this gathering was to discuss the 10-person wager proposed by the Mulan people. It turned out that after the battle at Huanglong Mountain, the Mulan people had launched a full-scale offensive, conquering cities and capturing over 1,000 Tiannan cultivators, mostly direct disciples of various sections. The Mulan people declared, for every victory Tiannan won, they would release over 100 prisoners. If they refused the wager, they would all be executed on the battlefield. This would not only severely damage Tiannan's morale, but these high-level cultivators would also bear the stigma of abandoning their loved ones, making it impossible for them to hold their heads high in the cultivation world. Even more insidiously, the Mulan people specifically stated that anyone except late-stage Nascent Soul cultivators could participate in the battle, clearly intending for mid-stage Nascent Soul cultivators to fight to the death. Everyone in the hall listened intently, yet no one dared to speak, fearing being singled out for the fight. Seeing that coercion was ineffective, the 3 late-stage cultivators resorted to bribery, pulling each person aside for a talk. When it was Huanli's turn, they directly offered the gung metal he desperately needed as leverage, and Huanli was immediately tempted. His azure bamboo becloud sword had been severely injured by Master Li's azure flame. If he could integrate gung metal, he could unleash half of the great gung sword formation, doubling his combat power. After the 3 cultivators' persuasion, Tiannan quickly assembled a 10-person team. Except for Huanli, who was at the early stage of Nascent Soul, the rest were all at least mid-stage Nascent Soul cultivators, including the ruthless demonic figures, Old Demon Yunlu and Old Monster Tiannan. On the day of the decisive battle, Huanli and his group of 10 were immediately bewildered by their opponent's lineup upon their arrival. The 10 black-robed cultivators sent by the Mulan people were all at the early Nascent Soul stage, and their auras were incredibly strange. Although everyone was suspicious, the die was cast, and Huanli was prepared to first deliver a devastating blow. Whatever the evil spirits, he'd strike them down first. Shortly afterward, both sides activated their formations simultaneously. 10 formations instantly descended, trapping the 20 cultivators in pairs. Escape was now impossible. The duel had officially begun. Huanli raised his hand and unleashed a devastating bolt of devastating lightning, but before the lightning could even touch his opponent, the black-robed man suddenly swelled up and self-destructed. His flesh and blood splattered onto the formation barrier, merging with it and trapping Hanli alone within. Looking at the other 9 formations, the scene was identical. The Mulan people hadn't sent any real cultivators, but rather used 10 bloody corpses as bait, their aim being to trap and kill all 10 Nascent Soul cultivators from Tiannan. This scheme was ruthless. These 10 individuals represented half of Tiannan's high-level combat power. If they were trapped, the Mulan invasion would be virtually guaranteed, and they could conquer Tiannan almost blindfolded. The Mulan Saintess outside the formation practically laughed out loud, waiting to reap the rewards of victory. But she never expected her perfect plan to be thwarted by Hanli. While the other cultivators were frantically searching for their way out, Hanli had already taken out his newly refined Thunder Pearl, a treasure he brought back from the chaotic Star Sea, crafted according to the Profoundine technique, which unexpectedly proved useful at this moment. This Thunder Pearl possessed astonishing power. A single throw at the formation barrier instantly blasted a gap in it. Hanli swaggered out, casually killing several low-level Mulan cultivators and a Nascent Soul mage outside the formation, and then rescuing the drunken Soul True Person and the Cloud Dew Old Demon. Seeing her plan completely collapse, the Mulan Saintess trembled with rage, her anger reaching its peak. While activating the Yuanming lamp to summon the peacocks of the upper realm for assistance, she also dispatched her clan's trump card, the newly advanced Nascent Soul cultivator, Master Tian, specifically to deal with Hanli. Previously, both sides only had 3 latent Nascent Soul cultivators. Now, with an additional one, the battle should have been completely turned around. But who could have imagined that Hanli, only at the early Nascent Soul stage, would possess such terrifying power? He unleashed the Azure Bamboo Becloud Sword, combined with the evil repelling Divine Thunder and the gold-eating insects, wreaking havoc on the battlefield. The Mulan cultivators couldn't withstand his onslaught, and Master Tian's attacks were easily dodged by the wind and thunder wings. What was expected to be a one-sided crushing defeat turned into a solo display by Hanli. Now it was the Mulan people's turn to be dumbfounded. The deadly trap they had painstakingly set up had ultimately become Hanli's stage to make a name for himself.